This is Ellen the Marvelous, the Movie Gangster, and in this review breakdown, I'm going to discuss on main climax point in the Dark Knight movie, the second sequel of Batman Trilogy directed by Christopher Nolan. The climax point in a movie is the exact right time when an audience faced with the most highest stake through the incident adrenaline is pumping and his mind is ready and fully opened as a two-way communication highway to receive new information and knowledge to replace with old ones. And this is the very exact moment when a movie director can use some benefits of that climax point to convey knowledge, philosophy and culture to the audience's minds. The new replaces the old through this exchange, and after all, there is a very scientific and psychological phenomenon happens which calls catharsis, and after a while you can see its effect on audiences' further thoughts, beliefs and actions. Indeed, a climax point triggers some changes through a transformation in a better and updated levels. I'm going to discuss on creating this climax point through the Dark Knight movie, and I'm going to show you how Christopher Nolan uses the benefit from the dramatic elements to create a huge catharsis and impresses his audiences through this climax point. Please like and share and subscribe to support this new channel, and push the notification bell to be informed of all of my latest videos, reviews and breakdowns as I uploaded them. As Christopher Nolan leads to the climax point of the movie, Batman has almost reached to the end of the road, and there is not a far distance towards the highest floor of the building or tower the Joker is standing at. At this point, we see Batman is surrounded by the police, and there is a direct light as the moonlight brightening him up at the center of the floor. For a bat, a moonbeam and moonlight always acts as lead and guidance, and at the exact moment, Batman is not scaring of this light coming from the police. Indeed, it makes him to have his eyes wide open and lets himself to make a better decision. Just pay attention to where the Joker is standing, surrounded by 3 hungry vicious dogs, looks like hellhounds around. At the end of the line, Batman arrives and there is a confrontation and fight happens between them both. And this is exactly where we arrive to the climax point in the movie. The fight begins, and in a huge sense of confusion, Joker throws himself on Batman. The clock is announcing that the midnight arrived, and both rafts should be exploded by now. Joker believes that these days you can't put your trust on someone else. All are two-faced people and have masks on their faces. And he believes sooner or later those people from boat and rafts will explode each other in any moment. There is no information on the others stuck on the rafts, and here this is Batman who has to make a choice, maybe a final choice. Joker begins to tell another version of his own dirty story about his scars and tries to discourage Batman and controlling his mind. But Batman knows about all his dirty tricks and throws him down off the building. But since he promised Gordon that no one's nose would bleed, and as he wants to keep on his promise, he doesn't kill Joker and indeed pulls him up with the rope. Now we can see Joker hanging by one foot floating into the air. He is a real hanged man, but if we take a deeper look into the medium wide shot, we can see his background is moving up and down in the reverse, and seems Joker is not hanged by 1 foot. During this scene, through Joker's monologue, it seems he's moving upside down and it fluctuates up and down, and he is talking pridefully about something he has done to Harvey Dent. Joker claims that he has downgraded Harvey Dent to his own level, to criminal level, just to have a better level of criminals. Just pay attention to the floor and level where Batman met him. This is the exact climax point of the movie where catharsis phenomenon happens. In this part of the movie, which will be the ending part of the second act, the director has got to the highest level of tension and beat, and now the director is using all the elements and facilities of classical drama structure, mise-en-scène and filmmaking in line with Joker's monologue, and has been able to reach a moral outstanding condition. From pure suspense have an impact on the audience in the form of catharsis. And through this way, the connection will be created with the two-way communication highway, and it allows the audience to have the right to choose what they perceive to reach a conclusion. Catharsis is an ancient Greek word, which means purification or cleansing, commonly used to refer to the purification and purgation of thoughts and emotions by the way of expressing them. The desired result is emotional state of renewal and restoration. The concept of catharsis has its own origins in Aristotle's Poetics, where it was defined as the emotional release or purification that the audience experiences after watching a tragedy or a movie, while empathy with characters can enhance the emotional impact of a performance. Now let us take a glimpse to the mise-en-scène on this very climax point scene. And let me show you how Christopher Nolan has been inspired by tarot cards to create this high-stake climax scene. Nolan has got the inspiration for mise-en-scène for this scene from Hanged Man tarot card, has used the symbolism of this card and even the composition of its imagery to create such a huge climax scene. Here I need to mention on tarot cards and their meanings, and want to show you how Nolan has used this tarot card to create a deep sense of suspense and doubt through an stagnancy of climax point towards a clear confusion. Tarot cards are not only for playing games and divination, they have their own meanings and symbology and are connected to the spiritual path every human being is faced through his journey, through his life path, as a fool to become a better and stronger person, which is called the Fool's Journey. Their symbology is rooted deep into the collective unconscious, and we can use them to analyze the life path for each and every human being through this life journey as a karmic cycle, and is exactly the same with the hero or protagonist journey, all based on this theory which says, as a drama has been born from chaos, a hero's journey includes a karmic cycle to make him faces with his own worst fears and nightmares and weaknesses to conquer and win. In the image of this card, which is the 12th major arcana card in the most traditional tarot decks, it depicts an image of a man being hanged upside down by one ankle. As you see in the imagery of this card, the man is hanged by one foot upside down from a tree. It's a term of confusion, you can imagine, and it shows a complete state of confusion. There is a hollow around his head, which is a sign of gaining a new perspective. It's all about sacrificing. What is hidden here at this very moment needs to be sacrificed. The symbology of this imagery is talking to us the importance of being surrender and patience and gaining new perspective in our lives. It's all about letting go, sacrificing what is not be necessary, and taking time to reflect. Being hanged by one foot is the worst position everyone can experience, and this is exactly when all the blood flow gathers in the lowest part of the body, the brain, and the person loses power to make rational decisions due to the confusion. From the psychological point of view, we can call it accused confusion. As you see here, we can see Joker hanging upside down from an ankle, exactly with the same hangman card imagery. Nolan has used the composition of this imagery and has created a very artistic, powerful mise-en-scène through the highest level of tension at the climax point to convey this sense of suspense. On that very moment, at the highest point of this half-ruined tower, destructed by Joker, and has led us audiences to be the hero's companions through our identification and sympathy of the protagonist hero. In this sequence, we can feel this sense of confusion and suspense the protagonist Batman is experiencing through all dramatic Nolan has used to create this mise-en-scène and has portrayed Batman's inner challenge as Joker is speaking floated, moving up and down. Batman tries to keep the control of the narration. And in the exact moment, he decides to release all his fears and weaknesses behind and goes to save Gordon and his family. And the moment of sacrifice is when he decides to sacrifice himself to save the city and let them be all together on this belief that Harvey Dent was the White Knight and saved the city, and believe in him, the Batman, as the main criminal, and accepts to be the Dark Knight, living beyond shadows only to protect people in the society, to keep their faith and believe in righteousness and hope for a better day, and as Gordon says, not as the hero they deserved, but as a hero they needed. Batman leaves Joker behind, and as federal forces enter the scene to arrest Joker, this is exactly the end of the second act, entering the third one for the final conclusion and resolve. As the movie enters the third act to an exodus, the cathartic process begins, and as the narrative goes to clear the air to the final conclusion, due to this cathartic process, as Aristotle mentions in his Poetics on a heroic tragedy, all old false beliefs update into a true, better version, and it will be the first step towards a huge change, not only for Bruce Wayne as Batman, but for all audiences who were watching the movie and become a hero companion and had sympathy through this inner journey through the hero's identification and sympathy. In my next review breakdowns in this playlist, I'm going to deep dive more into the Christopher Nolan's Batman Trilogy as an academic reference to redefine the classic drama structure to create a better and stronger version of Protagonist as a superhero. Thank you for watching my review. Please press the like button if you enjoyed the review and let me know in the comments what do you think about this theory. What do you think about this review? Please share my videos and subscribe to support my channel and push the notification bell to be informed of all of my videos and reviews as I uploaded them. I'm also going to show you how I use tarot cards to define a dramatic structure through a movie based on a karmic cycle. For now, love and light in peace.